coming up next.
I'm happy that he was able to play the way that he did.
Stevie Lee and I will break down the Longhorns' 9th win of the season. One of college football's good guys is out for the season.
No, it's not frustrating.
And Jimbo is done.
Get out.
It's all coming up next on The Pass Rush with Stevie Lee. Let's ride.
From it for next year, but we got to finish out this year. Right there, we're 6-4. Need to be the best 7-4 team in the country and the best 8-4 team in the country. That's our goal, and it's what we can control right now. But no, I don't dwell on those things right now. I live in the moment, and that's getting ready. We got to be ready to play Abilene Christian next week.
Man, we kind of saw this as a possibility when Texas A&M signed Jimbo Fisher to that ridiculous contract back in 2018, and then after the COVID season, they did go 9-1. And they extended his contract even more, which led us to today. $76 million guaranteed.
I don't know if I ever seen a coach get fired after a win. But Jimbo Fisher, he's going to be the richest man in the unemployment line tomorrow. Dude, buying out somebody for $76 million, man, that's unreal to me. But I mean, I guess for me, and I don't have the inner workings of Texas A&M football or athletics, but if you're paying somebody that much money to go away, you must be paying somebody a lot of money to come in. So
that's what I'm thinking. And
yeah, and so there's a lot of money being thrown around in that program next year, or at A&M. So they got to see some results. It's going to be interesting who they hire. Do you have any inklings of who's out there?
Well,
we're looking at.
We'll get to that. We're taking.
That's really what I really want to know. Like, you get rid of somebody after a win, you have intentions. You already have somebody lined up that you're going to take. I think.
Right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Hey, while you're at it, not you, but you, the viewer, or who, if you're just listening to us on if you're on your podcast listening platform, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, subscribe, like, follow, share with your mama, your daddy, your brother, sister, cousins, best friends, whatnot. Tell everybody about stories inside the man cave, and especially about the pass rush of Stevie Lee. We appreciate you. If it's not for you, this would never be possible. That soundbite you heard out the top was Jimbo Fisher that Stevie alluded to, that after they beat Mississippi State 51-10 to become bowl eligible. Now, I know becoming bowl eligible is not the goal of Texas A&M or Texas, and that's a problem. So this happened today or early evening. Well, the story started surfacing. Then the official announcement happened when Texas A&M Ross Bjork made an appearance in front of the media to confirm everything.
We should be relevant on the national scene. Something is not clicking, something is not working, and therefore something had to give in order for Aggie football to reach our full potential.
I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. Something had to happen to get rid of somebody for $76 million. Meaning that you got to buy you got to make him walk away for $76 million. You got to go and find another coach that's probably on a staff already and buy him out of his contract, right? And then pay him on top of that. And then all of Jimbo's assistants are under contract still. They got to pay those contracts out.
Right.
And then the new head coach that they get, They got to buy those guys contracts out and then give them new contracts. This move today could easily be a $200 million move.
$250 million.
A quarter of $1 billion move just to get rid of someone.
Well,
that is insane to me. But hey, man, if you like it, I love it, A&M.
hey,
I just can't wait to just start beating that tail again, you know.
Well, here's the humor. Our guy Kyle Umlang, who does Aggie Facts, writes books called Aggie Facts, UT alum. Obviously, the return on investment, they were all in on Jimbo, and to give him that 10-year contract at pretty much guaranteed what was it? Well over $100 million.
Yeah.
Initially, and it was $2.61 million per win, $4.35 million per conference win, and $11.75 million per win against ranked teams. Kevin Sumlin and Jimbo Fisher pretty much had the same overall record. I mean, he was there 6 years. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay. I believe that he had 2 9-win seasons. But it's more or less the same. A&M. They're not losing. I mean, they had a losing year last year. That's it. They're about an 8-win program every year.
Yeah.
But
they're bowl eligible. They won last night. They can make some changes and keep it going, you know, keep the train going. But they said, nope, you're out of here. I don't get it. I don't.
Well, Stevie, you and I have had this mild conversation about what is going on in A&M. What's going on? You know, last year, or we thought possibly would. I mean, last year they got beat by Appalachian State.
That's true.
It's a good program. Okay.
Yeah.
But we kept thinking, is A&M going to stick to this? There's no way they can buy him out after that guaranteed amount.
Yeah. And
they did it. If we're talking about it, you know, Ross Bjork and their alumni, their boosters are talking about it. I mean, now correct me if I'm wrong so people will know these buyouts, that's not coming out of money in the university. It's from booster money, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they raised the money to handle those buyouts and even salaries. So, but they are still state employees.
Yeah.
So the highest paid state employees in the state of Texas are the head coaches at the University of Texas and Texas A&M.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they did it. But let's just why don't we put you, the viewer, and you, Stevie, and myself in. Let's become Aggies for a second.
Okay. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. We don't have to wear maroon. You could wear a Texas Ranger.
I still got my Texas shirt on.
Well, I got my brand new Texas Rangers World Series shirt.
Okay, good.
Delivered.
That's nice, man.
Thank you, brother. I should have got what do you wear? Triple X?
I'm a 4X tall, man.
Woo, Lord, I will never fit in that.
I will. Anybody can send any merch to me. Let's do it.
I will keep that in mind. I'm gonna surprise you. There's somebody in Dallas Fort Worth area. I need to get her a shirt because she got one that was gray. She wanted the blue one. She got gray. That's okay. Yeah. But let's pretend we're Aggies. Okay. Johnny Manziel did a great job for that program. Their first year in the SEC. All right. Yeah. They weren't able to maintain any of that momentum at all. Okay. They did a great job, brought a lot of attention. They beat Alabama.
Yep.
They beat OU in the Cotton Bowl. But they've been like this.
Yeah.
They hadn't been like Texas having all those like this, all those rocky 5 and 7 years. But Texas did have the Sugar Bowl win. But anyway, back to the point. What are you – I mean, you would feel the same. You would want to change by now, wouldn't you? Or you would at least over the summer say, all right, we're giving you guys money. What's our plan? Would you be thinking about moving on from Jimbo now if this past summer going into this season?
No. Well, it depends on what the result of this season was going to be, right? I think that they're still decent and they can fight to still build on something, right? So for me, I would not have gotten rid of Jimbo Fisher right now because either I'm building or I'm blowing it all up and starting all over again, you know? Yeah. And you're paying a lot of money just to start all over again.
Yeah.
It's to see what's going to happen. We do know Jimbo Fisher has a good track record, right?
But does he?
Yeah, no. From Florida State, you know, his past, you know, and things can get back on track for him or could have gotten back on track for him at A&M. You know, they're bowl eligible, you know. They're on a upward
from last year.
From last year, exactly. So I would not have gotten rid of him right now. No, I would have sat on his contract. Now, when he comes to me and asks for an extension, then no, we're not doing that. But we still can see where we're going to go for the next year or two, and then you know next year the buyout would have been cheaper, you know, and the year after that obviously cheaper, you know. But you know I was gonna. If I'm the AD there, and granted, I don't know all the inner workings of how they raise the money and how it funnels through the school and things like that. But if someone came and just dumped the money in their lap for them to get rid of him, and money wasn't an object, which it obviously isn't, then there's a different story there. But to get rid of someone after a win, after being bowl eligible, being better than last year. What more do you want from him? You know, what more? I mean, college football is a hard business for coaches. You know, they're getting 18 to 21-year-old kids to try to win football games on a national level and in one of the hardest conferences. You know, it's a tough job, and to see that he's going upwards and still get rid of him and then give him $76 million to go away, it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, listen to, I mean, that soundbite from Ross Bjork. I'm going to play it again.
Okay.
All right. So the timeline of all this is the soundbite that I pulled and edited down was Ross saying that we put everything together essentially when we weren't receiving return on investment. Because after this being the sixth year, we thought we'd be more relevant. They're nowhere near competing for championships, and this was his soundbite again.
We should be relevant on the national scene. Something is not clicking, something is not working, and therefore something had to give in order for Aggie football to reach our full potential.
Remember, this is year 6. I'm trying to be devil's advocate here.
Yeah. I think they are relevant on the national scale.
Really?
I mean,
recruiting. They're doing well recruiting.
Yeah, and that's Jimbo as well, right? Relevant on the national scale. So he wants to be in the college football playoffs talks. Is that the relevance that he's looking for?
I'm going to go ahead and put this out there, and I don't know if I'm right. I think the season that UT's having right now is not helping Jimbo.
Okay.
Because Texas, and we'll get to Texas in a minute. We usually are deep into our UT conversation. Yeah. Texas is part of the CFP conversation as of right now.
Right now. We'll get to that, but as of right now. So yeah. They see the road ahead, and I guess that's why they want to do it. They see the road, and we need to make a change right now, rather than later.
Correct. They're not seeing any progression. I see it. I get it. I've thought it. I'm just like, dude. You know what? I'll give it to them. They did better. Now, granted, Charlie Strong went 5-7, 3 consecutive years. Tom Herman, he didn't have a losing year, but he got let go. And there was just other things. But they just didn't get better.
Yeah.
Except for 1 year.
The other thing is when you ask yourself as a head coach and as an AD, they had a leg up on recruiting because some kids, I don't know why, but some kids want to play in the SEC.
I get it.
And Texas is for lack of better words, breeding ground for top athletes.
Right. Always has been.
Always has been. And so they had a leg up in recruiting. Now that Texas is going to had a leg up by saying we're in the SEC and Texas is not, come to A&M. Now that Texas is going to the SEC, why would a top recruit in the state of Texas go to A&M over Texas now? Now everything's level again. That both are in the SEC. The program is at Texas is 9-1 now, and they can see the light going up or the train going up the hill still.
Yeah.
Why would you go to Texas A&M? And so that could play a factor as well with the AD. Is like, we're going to lose these recruits if we're not a phenomenal team and actually competing on a national level. So that could be it. I don't know. It's just hard for me to see someone getting a record buyout like this after a win and after being bowl eligible.
Yeah.
Bowl eligibility is hard to come by. There's going to be a bunch of teams you're going to be surprised is not going to go to any bowls.
So before I say what I'm going to say, if you haven't been to College Station, Texas A&M has the same or if not better facilities than UT.
Mm-hmm.
They're on par. The infrastructure's there. The money's there.
Yeah.
They have incredible facilities, and they have the financial resources clearly. Keep in mind, Tom Herman's buyout was $15 million.
Yeah.
This guy, Jimbo, listen, $76 million. The other thing I have and I'll say one more thing before I say to play off what you said 10 minutes ago. Could it be that Jimbo has some complacency? I'm not going to worry about this. I'm getting paid regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be as well. I mean, you can look into a man's eyes and tell him and see if he's happy where he is. Even it could have been they looked into his eyes and said that his eyes told him to go ahead and fire me. It's like Bebe Ogeron.
Yeah.
And Bebe said, What door, when and what door you want me to leave out of? And so
where do I meet y'all for that check?
Yeah. Where can I pick up my check and what time and what door you want me to leave out of?
So this is funny to that. Here's a little, the memes and videos are coming out. Watch this.
What did I say for you? Tell them to bring me my money.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Jimbo's gonna be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine,
Generational money.
Generational wealth to be fired. That's the Goldman Sachs golden parachute right there,
Yeah. So that leads me to this, Stevie.
Yeah.
You made a great point early on in this discussion about Texas A&M Aggie football. If you're going to make this decision, according to the timeline, last Thursday, the powers that be had this conversation. The AD recommended, Ross Bjork recommended to the president and another gentleman who makes decisions at Texas A&M that they make a change within the football program. All right? Thursday. You think
you know this?
Huh?
You know this?
I was reading it. The timeline. because he laid it out during his press conference today. Okay? Jimbo, you heard what he said after that win last night. We got to be the best 7-4 team in America, and we've got to be the best 8-4 because they became bowl eligible to go 6-4 last night. And they whipped them. And they found their quarterback. They're playing a third-string quarterback. All right? Which leads me to the point that you brought up. You have to have somebody in mind if you're going to make this type of decision. So I want to tell you what I think. And if you know anything or your feedback on this, I think A&M has to go, this is just an opinion. You quit making these splash hires or it's going to cost you another $70 million. Just because it's a name. Get somebody who's good for A&M. Get somebody who's quit. I hate all these schools that, I got to get the hot name. No, get the right guy for your program.
Yeah.
Who fits you. All right? Get it.
Okay.
They better have. I hope that they are talking to Jeff Traylor at UT San Antonio. That guy is deeply connected to Texas High School Coaches Association. They love him. Not that A&M has any problems with recruiting. They need a guy who's going to bring electricity, who is attached to good assistants. Electric, who's going to bring electricity outside the game and where the people can physically just be – Aggies want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I can see that. But I don't know if that's A&M's mindset.
Well, their mindset
clearly cost them $76 million.
I guarantee you, Jeff Traylor, he's getting paid well at UT San Antonio.
Yeah, and I can see that. And now, but is Jeff the guy to compete in the SEC? The guy that has to go in the Alabama every other year is the guy that has to go into Florida every other year when Florida gets back on top, you know?
I get that. And I see you meant a great point.
Yeah.
But football's football, in my opinion. You either know how to coach it or you don't. That's where your assistants, you get the right assistants are going to help. You know how to manage the game, you know how to recruit, you know how to discipline, you know how to be a leader of an organization.
Yeah. Is he ready though, Jeff?
I mean, who knows? He's not. Yeah. He's been a group of 5 head coach.
Yeah.
Anyone.
So, me thinking out loud, going and getting somebody who's probably going to get fired this year after investigations is Jim Harbaugh. You know, I mean, his assistant was on the sideline at another game scouting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, it's gonna be quiet right now, but it's gonna go big. That he's probably gonna get fired up there.
They'll have no choice once the legal investigation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see people on the sideline. They call an audible. They look at the other sideline, and then look back into the field, and then send the play in. You know, that's real cheating. You know, so I don't think in my opinion, and we can go back to this when the season's over, but I think he's going to get fired. And I don't think they're going to suspend him from the NCAA, and that's a big name that can go to A&M. It's
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh
won't. I guarantee you, A&M won't gamble like that. A&M smarter than that. I mean, that's
great. So?
Well, you don't.
They got to have a name. There's not, and to get rid of him, they got to have the name. I understand what you're saying. You know, UTSA gave us a game. Was that last year?
Yep.
Yeah, and so he's got those boys playing well at UTSA, but that's still not going to get you the recruits that's going to compete with Texas.
No, right? I get it. but that's when you get the right assistance. But I know what you're saying, and that's what everybody does is go get that name.
Well, what about Cliff Kingsbury?
He couldn't win at Tech, and that's his alma mater.
But he was on his way to winning, I thought. And
he had to beat he had to beat Texas to save his job to become bowl eligible. His 6th win in what 20? Was that Charlie's last?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. 5 years ago, his coaching growth has grown. Right, he's grown a little bit in coaching,
and he coached at A&M under. He helped develop Johnny.
Yeah, exactly. And Johnny was the second coming to A&M over there, man. They loved him over there, right? And Johnny might be in the board's ears like, y'all need to hire Cliff. Y'all need to hire Cliff, you know? So that could happen. That's another name in Texas that can recruit Texas or maybe know how to recruit Texas. And, you know, really, these people love Johnny Manziel over there, man, at Texas A&M. And if there's a coach out there that had a hand in developing their savior, Johnny Manziel, that might be their pick.
Stevie, Texas 9-1. That's a great turnaround from last year, and then from Sark's first year, 9-1, and then the CFP discussion, and you know they were in Fort Worth. You know we talked about last week. It's going to be really important for these guys to go in there and jump on them. And Quinn came back. Now we're going to unbundle this thing, and I want to go here to the Big 12 standings because Oklahoma State got hammered by Central Florida. Texas is now all alone in first place of the Big 12. All you need to do is be, you know, one of the 2 spots for the Big 12 and the 2 being in play for the Big 12 title. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams tied for second at 5-2. Oklahoma State, OU, Iowa State, and Kansas State. Texas plays at Iowa State this week. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. They're bowl eligible, so that pressure's off of them. You go to a bowl at Iowa State, you're happy.
Yeah.
But they're a good improving program. Oklahoma State looked like complete garbage against Central Florida, and OU looked really good. So I think Texas needs one win to earn their spot. One more win in the next 2 weeks.
To earn a spot in the Big 12 championship.
Because they'll have the tiebreaker. Well, no, they won't. Because they lost to OU. They don't play Oklahoma State. Yeah.
No, we'll still go in because
he will have beaten Iowa State and Kansas State. So, yeah. But if there's a 3-way tie, let's say there's a 3-way tie at 7-2, that's where it'll get hairy. Texas just needs to win out, period.
Just win out.
So
it doesn't get hairy.
So we got to start. So Texas had a 26-6 lead. And before we dive into that, and they blew that lead. That has become a theme. I don't get it, but we got to show the bad part of what happened last night. It's really disheartening for anyone who just loves the game, especially for good human beings like Jonathan Brooks.
Head off goes to Brooks.
You hate to see that. Corey Most gave you a tweet that he published that had Jay Brooks, third-year running back. He was a red shirt running back out of Hallettsville. Man, that was hard because he had over 1,000 yards rushing already. Nation's 6th leading rusher. I mean, he signaled over immediately. He knew, and he had to crawl over. I mean, that made my stomach hurt.
Yeah,
watching that.
Yeah, I was. You know what was crazy about it. My heart went out to the kid, man. Hopefully, he has a speedy recovery. All those types of things. But I'll tell you a little story. I was texting with friends as I do throughout the games whenever it's away games.
Yeah.
Texting with friends, and someone in the first quarter asked, "Is he a Doak Award finalist?" Because he was playing that well, he's been playing that well. And I didn't know. I don't know. I still don't know if he is. I didn't look it up.
They'll have running back by committee, but I've got a feeling the Longhorns are going to miss Jay Brooks, but I have a feeling his federal members of the running back room they'll produce for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
In his absence.
Absolutely. We still have good. That was still a really stout. It's still a really stout running backs room.
Yeah,
for sure.
2 games left. We've pretty much got it all locked up to play. At least played and earn a trip to Arlington, and it was Quinn's return. What do you think about how he played and his return?
Quinn played very well. I think once again, Shark held him back a little bit, but he threw the deep ball, which that was my main complaint with him.
Yeah, all
a little bit better this past game. He managed the game well. What was it? 1 interception?
1 right into coverage.
Yeah, threw it right into coverage. I don't think he saw the safety coming over the top.
He did not. I didn't either.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I did, but I'm on the couch though. So, and he moved well in the pocket. I'm glad he did not take any hits. So overall he did well. That pass that we needed from to Mitchell to get that first down, it was once again another much better catch than it was a pass, right?
He had to come back and get it.
Yeah, he kind of hung it up there for him.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Texas is better this year. They're good. They're good. If not for A.D. Mitchell, I don't think that offense would be as productive.
No, absolutely.
He's
absolutely
huge.
The other thing I also noticed is, and TCU noticed it, that's why they were all over him. Worthy is Quinn's security blanket.
Yeah.
Every quarterback has a security blanket, Ask Tony Romo and not Tony Romo. Romo and Welker, right?
Yep.
No, not Welker.
Dez?
Huh?
Was it Dez?
Yes, but Welker and Brady. And,
back in the Patriots, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got, every quarterback has their security blanket.
Right.
And so I was like, golly, we were zeroing in on Worthy, and Worthy was running really good routes to where he got some calls yesterday as well. So that stuck out to me yesterday because, when Malik played those last 2 games, Worthy barely got touches.
That's the most bizarre part about that, though.
Yeah.
It really is. So Sark, he after they escaped and won the thing, and that's what I want to talk to you after we hear from Sark. This was his evaluation of Quinn returning after the AC joint injury, which I thought he should have been. I thought for sure he was going to be out minimum 4 games.
If you would have told me he'd have been 22 of 33 for 317 yards coming out of this game, I'd have taken it every day of the week.
Yeah, good numbers. Decent, good numbers. Coming off of an injury, being out of the game for 2 weeks. And again, though, I think Shark still kind of held them back a little bit, After we got up in the second half, we started running, which I thought we should have probably tried to get more first downs through the air just to kind of get down the field some more and put the game on ice. These games are I'm getting too old for this, for us to let people come back in the game, let teams come back into the game like this.
There's something, this is UT's MO. This is who they are. You're not going to change it completely this late in the year.
Yeah.
in my opinion. I do think something can be corrected, but what do you correct?
Yeah, they don't pay me $5 million to figure that out, so I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
But something has to give because, you know, when you look at going towards the end of the season, just ask yourself, are we a better team than we were when we played Alabama?
No.
I just said ask yourself. I didn't say answer it, man.
I've been saying the last 3 weeks.
Okay. You know, that was a rhetorical question, sir.
Right. I love rhetorical questions.
Yeah, man. So and so what our goals aren't to be 9-1, 10-1. Our goals are to be in the college football playoffs and competing for a national championship and winning it, right? That's the goal. So coming down to these last 3 games, especially last night, and I'm going to be very, very frank.
Please do.
We did not win that game last night. We
survived.
just didn't lose. And I know that's double talk, coaching talk, witchcraft. I'll tell you one thing. There was a game that I played in college, and it was a heartbreaker, and we lost. We lost that game. We get into the locker room, and
Which
Coach
game was
Brown sees the looks on our faces and things like that. And being the man that he is, he always finds the word to tell us, to say something to us to make us feel better. He said, guys, I love the way you guys fought out there. It's tough. Just keep your head up because we did not lose that game. We just ran out of time. And I said, Coach, in my head, I was like, nah, we knew how much time we had on the clock. I think we lost that game. But I see what he was getting at. So last night, Texas A&M did not lose that game. They ran out of time. And you cannot do that if we want to be competing for a national championship at the University of Texas.
TCU, literally.
Yeah.
Wow.
They just ran out of time. We did not win that game. We just didn't lose that game.
So what okay, this is what I'm trying to listen. I didn't play at your level.
Mm-hmm.
I barely played in high school. You know, I mean, I get it, competitors. But what there's something bigger a factor here systemically. What happened to, I mean, from a surface level, and doesn't require, I'm just taking a surface level piece here. I'm trying to dig deeper and be smarter about this.
Yeah.
I mean, all gas, no brakes. Where's that?
So
we're not seeing it.
Yeah, and I think Shark may have the right strategy, but I don't think the team is ready for it, that strategy.
You mean get a lead?
Get a lead and we coach that lead.
And just cruise.
And then cruise that lead. I don't know if the University of Texas players are mature enough to know or mature enough to do that. If we are a Ferrari, all gas, just keep your feet on the foot on the gas.
Yeah.
Right? I should say a Porsche. If we're a Porsche 911, let's continue to be a Porsche 911. Now, if we're a Porsche Cayenne, SUV, that we can go fast, but you're mostly a grocery getter, you know, we can take our foot off the gas and kind of coast to the end. We are a Porsche 911. We got to go fast all the time from start to finish and just keep it that way. Let's not dial it down and go get some groceries and things like that. Let's just stay fast and stay on them. Because we know we got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know we got it.
The
other thing is, I'm going to say this. I love my university and everybody that's bought into the university. I love everybody that's there. Defensive secondary coordinating has been a problem for me.
Okay.
The play calling on the secondary line is great.
Oh, lines.
I've never seen a man 361 pounds running after a quarterback like that.
Consistently good.
Consistently good. Now, I see, and this is why we're talking to pass rusher with Stevie Lee.
Right.
I see that the kids are still fast, strong, and healthy by the end of the game. What I don't see is us being in the right play calling positions to actually make plays. We can out athlete anybody in the country, but we also have to get the right plays in to out athlete those. Give these kids some help and put them in the right place to be successful. Right? Staying back off the line to where these guys, these three teams, these last three games are using timing routes because they're not getting jammed at the line. We are big enough and strong enough to jam these guys at the line, you know, and to run some bump and run to get them off the clock, you know. And so I think everything else on the defense is going pretty well. We're putting the kids in the wrong position to make the play.
Yeah, that's something that has really bothered me because I love the old physical bump and run. I mean, one safety over the top maybe, but to TCU and defense of TCU and these opponents, and even Houston, they're all they have good athletes, good coaches. But the thing is, it's just not you're Texas. No, impose your will, and go jam that MFer at the line or bump him off of his route, man.
Yep.
The timing. And then they adjust, you adjust. I know I'm making it sound like it's so simple. It's more complex than that. I get it. But why
not too much more complex though. It's really I don't and maybe I'm coming from a perspective because we did this when I was there.
Yeah.
You know, I played with a guy whose last name was literally Jammer.
Yeah,
right.
Oh my God, his little brother was good too.
His little brother was good too, man, and he was physical. And Quandre he got dog in him, man, and he's still playing in the league today.
Love that guy.
When everybody told him he was undersized, he said, "You know what? I'm not going to listen to you." And plays like a dog, right? You know, he's the man. But anyway, so it's really not that hard, man. You know, jam these guys. You got to do something different because they were running in the last three games. People are running down the middle of the field, getting wide open in the middle and routes. So do something different, you know. So I hear what you're saying. I understand that you're saying that, you know, it's not that hard, but to me, it's not rocket science to me, man. I think the last three games things were going the same way. Change it up, please.
Well, there's no way that they're still holding things back, are they?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. No, I don't think so. Here we go.
This is the power poll, baby.
I
don't care what anybody says. I don't care that it's a head-to-head win. Alabama has improved. Texas has not since they played each other. Texas is still good. Texas is still a top 10 team. But Bama, to me, has gotten better. And Milroe's better. They passed the eye test.
I cannot argue with you, man. Will not argue with you on that. Oregon's still the same, the better one-loss team. Yes.
Well,
they are.
We think they look it. I mean, in this one, I put Washington back up for what they did, you know, this weekend.
Well, Washington's still undefeated, right? Washington almost went down to Utah, right?
Yeah, but they beat them.
Yeah. And then Oregon, who'd they play this past week?
So Oregon, they beat USC by 9.
Yes. So yes, I tried to stay up to watch that game. It's just the eyes were heavy.
Oh, I get it. Washington and Utah's a good team, and and Oregon State, man, they're close. But what Missouri is doing this year is unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, they have really turned that program around. Missouri beat Tennessee by 29 points.
Mm-hmm.
So
let me ask you this: the 4 on the outside, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why do you still have OU in there on the 4 on the outside?
Well, there was a lot of movement. I mean, we'll go. So I am going to show you something or verbally tell you something. So let's go rankings. Let's just take the AP poll, for example. You had teams like Tennessee, Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma State all lose. So they dropped.
Okay.
That's their third loss. OU only has 2 losses. Okay. I think OU is just a good team. They're not great. They beat West Virginia by 39 points.
So you got them 14, 15 ranking.
Somewhere in that next tier of teams.
Mm.
And Penn State got beat by Michigan.
Yeah. They actually got it handed to them too, man. The score, for me, that score is better than what the game actually was.
Yeah.
They got dominated because Michigan riding off of emotions as well, with their coach being suspended and not being able to go to the game. Like, we left the coach behind at the hotel,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of emotions there, but I don't even know if I don't see OU 14.
Hey, before we go to break, I definitely want to give a shout out to one of our mutual friends. I think him. You know Daniel Young at Dirties.
Oh no, I
down
don't.
on campus. He's a GM, does a lot of work for them. So Project Connect, which was voted in 3 years ago, they had a press conference, and they are part of a lawsuit against the city of Austin and Kirk Watson, because the Project Connect, which if in most cities of this size, you need some good public transportation. This will not work in Austin. Now I'm speaking on my opinion, because Project Connect, it's costing billions more dollars than it was originally forecast. And what it would do would go from South Austin, create a tunnel underneath Town Lake / Lady Bird Lake, then go down through the campus and turn Guadalupe into a pedestrian-only area and run right through Dirties and shut that business down along with a few others. So that's Daniel, and he's a big fan of your episodes and what we have going on here, and we partner up with certain things. He's a sponsor as well, and he had a big the lawsuit has been filed, and Kirk Watson, the mayor, was named. They filed it against him. So shout out to Daniel Young. No relation to the other Daniel Young. He played running back at Texas in recent years.
Yeah. No, that's I've been in Austin for 23 years, and I remember coming in being recruited. I came in with Mark Pittman, Cole Pittman's dad,
right,
to visit Cole when he was here, and we went to Dirty's and had a burger after spring ball.
It's a great burger.
And, yeah, absolutely. And so, to keep the nostalgia of Austin, these institutions actually need to stay around. You know what I mean? I get it, man. I would love for Dirties to stay, man. And good luck to them on the lawsuit. It was a sad day to see players leave.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah,
that was not good.
Players. Austin used to be a burger town.
Yeah.
It was burgers everywhere with Burger Techs. You had Dirties, you had Huts, you had Players, you had Sandy's, you have Dan's, you have Friends, it's a burger town. Still, I would say it's still a burger town, man.
But it's different.
And to get rid of another institution like this, man, it's just changing the fabric of our town.
Well spoken.
Yeah, and I hopefully that doesn't happen, and we can save dirties. Let's say that. Let's do that. Let's get some T-shirts printed up and say "Save dirties."
Save dirties, and when you get a chance, if it goes back to ballot, say no to Project Connect. Our guys at Hargrove Roofing, man, they are in the NIL world. If you were not aware, well, you were aware. I was aware, but maybe you at home was not. If you follow Stories Inside the Man Cave podcast or watch all of our episodes, you would know that our friends at Hargrove Roofing are proud supporters of Stories Inside the Man Cave. Well, they're also proud supporters of University of Texas Longhorn Athletics. So much so that they are now NIL partners. Bert Auburn has a strong leg. He has a great head of hair, and he will now partner with Coach at the Hargrove Roofing office off of Ashdale. You will soon hear Auburn say that famous slogan, Hargrove Roofing, know who's on your roof. In the meantime, if you need an estimate, call 512-645-3202 or visit the website, hargroveroofing.com. Man, great day to be alive if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. They just absolutely annihilated the New York Football Giants.
Crushed them.
I think that was 12 consecutive wins for the Cowboys against the Giants.
Oh, my goodness.
I think that's right.
Well, they need to hire Jimbo.
Oh, they need to hire. Yeah, Jimbo will help make it 12 straight losses. CeeDee Lamb, former Oklahoma Sooner, he did something in that game against the Giants. He has had 3 straight weeks in its NFL history with 150 yards receiving minimum and 10-plus receptions. Like, here it is. 11 catches for 151 yards as he became the first NFL receiver with at least 10 catches for at least 150 yards in 3 consecutive games. That had never been done.
Wow.
Until now.
Wow. That's awesome. Congrats to CeeDee Lamb.
CD, baby. Not bad for a Sooner.
No question.
It's, yeah. Hey, so TikToking, we always have fun with this. I bet you didn't know that armadillos can get a little excited. And let's just call it armadillo dry humping.
Okay.
Look at him. He's so sweet.
Oh, my God. Look at that.
Oh, my God. What? Oh, my God. Is that his winky?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's like the size of his body.
Oh, my God. What do I do? Do I let him keep going? Or?
I wouldn't.
Dude. Why does she keep her hand there, man?
Yeah, wow, that made it awkward right there.
Yeah, it was very awkward.
Like what do you? That must have been all scripted. Had to have been.
I don't know, man.
They're giving an armadillo a reach around.
Oh. Oh, yeah, man.
Hey, Ben, tell me something good.
Stevie Lee, it's always good to talk about something good. There's a lot of positive things. We're headed down. I know last week we were talking about, this is honestly the holidays have started, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tell us something good as you and your family start preparing for all the overeating that we are all going to partake in here very soon.
Yeah, man. So that's where I was going with something good, man. We got one more work week, and then it's Thanksgiving week, man. So I want to encourage everybody out there to hit it hard this week and get everything you need to get done so you can actually take some time next week, Thanksgiving week, and just reflect on what you're thankful for, man. Reflect on what you've gone through this year, what you've overcome this year. Be thankful for the ups and downs, because what doesn't kill is going to make us stronger, right? So
that's right.
Hit it hard this week, man. Just put your head down, work this week, because next week is going to be a shorter week. And enjoy your family, friends, and enjoy Thanksgiving, and really take some time and give thanks, man. That's something good, dude. That's what I try to do. I try to go back home to Shreveport, Louisiana, for a week to 10 days with the family, with my girls, and be around family and letting people that we love know that we're thankful for them.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what? An idea just came to mind. I think what I want to do starting the week of Thanksgiving is not going to schedule it, but my goal is 3 times each week, beginning Thanksgiving week, to write what I'm grateful for. Not in a journal, but in some place, maybe on social media.
Yeah. The other thing is also, man, take the opportunity. Take the opportunity to, because we've been given so much, to actually go out and bless somebody else with something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's some families out there that's going to probably struggle. Well, not probably. There are going to be some families out there that's going to struggle to put food on the table for Thanksgiving.
A lot of people are struggling right now.
Yeah. So what my church does is we have these bags that we pass out to people in the church that has a grocery list on it. And so you just go out and fill that grocery list for them, So not only you be thankful for what you got, but be thankful that you have an abundance that you can give out as well.
That's a beautiful thing. And that's, first of all, I love your church.
Yeah.
Pastor Eric Moore and his lovely wife and family.
Yeah. He's a Sooner, and she's a Roll Tide. What is it? She's a Warrior. She went to Alabama.
Oh, she's a Crimson Tide girl.
Yeah,
wow.
She played volleyball at Alabama.
Oh, wow. A lot of crimson in that house.
Yeah, a lot of crimson in that house. And I told him before the year started, I said, if Texas beat OU and Alabama, we own y'all. So, but we got 1 out of 2. So, but yeah, they're great people, man. That's what we do is, we give out to the community, man. So think about doing that this week as well.
It's always good to give back to the community. Anytime, when in doubt, give back to your fellow brothers and sisters in the community. So there's always somebody in need that needs something more than we do. And that's something that I always got to remind myself. Great words to end on, my friend. Is a fun episode, very Aggie heavy. But you know what? A lot of people care about Aggie football as well. And when you change your head coach.
Well, it's very Texas heavy. Let's call it Texas heavy.
It's very Texas heavy. I like it.
Texas
you know
heavy.
What? So, for the love of Stevie Lee and his family, and the pride of Shreveport, that being Stevie and Hargrove Roofing, of course, and for the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Hards, Big Mike, and Coach Mo, what do we tell them, Stevie?
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the